Hello, everybody. So I will need you to say hello in the chat and tell me if you can hear me well and if you can see me well, and just flag anything that is not working correctly, and also so we can know that you're here before we can start. Okay, so I get a few answers. It looks like everything is fine. Can you tell me a little bit about you? Like, what kind of background you have? You're more marketing side, more tech side, more SEO side, like, so we know a bit who we are talking to. It helps us just adapt the language, like what kind of words we use, and so it's good to have a little bit of an idea. Like, I'm from the marketing side initially, and then I turned into SEO specialist. So now I'm more on the technical part of things. Oh, so we have an in-house SEO. Oh my God, with 2 in-house content writer and 6+ freelancers. That looks like a big website. Anyone else? Don't be shy. So it's pretty good for me also to know that the chat works well, because this is where you can ask the questions later. So you can choose if you want to write just to me or if you want to write for everybody to see. So that's the magic of Zoom. So we have some people who say like they are more also marketing side. We have a trades professional. Oh, you're here to learn a few things for a personal blog, then you are at the good place. This is definitely the place to be.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so if everyone can hear us well, then we're going to start. And first thing, I'll share my screen for a little introduction. And let me check where I can share my screen. There we go. Can you see my screen? Yes?
Yeah.
Good. So welcome to Content Strategy Lausanne. It's a meetup I have started, like, I can't remember now, I think about 3 to 4 years ago. It was when I decided to turn to content strategy and then more SEO for real. So I thought, hey, let's learn and let's share about with other people. And also it was a really good way for me to get to know other people who were interested in the same thing than me about content strategy. And so basically the meetup is about sharing knowledge. So I'm always asking the participants, the speakers, to come and share about the subject that they are proficient with. And so everyone who comes here can learn something. And I really like when we can learn something very practical and we don't go too much into theory, because personally, I get lost when things are too theoretical. So I'm really happy when there are Google Sheets and tables and stuff. And I really like reusing all of this. And also, let me tell you how this presentation is going to go. So first, Gemma is going to present her subject. It's about 30 to maybe 40 minutes. And then we have time for questions. I will be moderating the questions. You can send your questions either through the chat that you've used already, or you can use also the Q&R. There's a Q&R in Zoom, so you can choose whatever your favorite way is good for me. And then I will ask the question to Gemma and she will answer. So really don't be shy with your questions. You can just fire them whenever they come, and I'll share them for everyone to learn at the end of the presentation. And if there is anything that goes wrong about the connection or technical side of the presentation, I will be monitoring the chat. So just tell us. Don't let us go like 5 minutes and when we don't know that something goes wrong, okay? So just a few words about Gemma. Gemma and I, we met through a community that is called Women in Tech SEO. It's a community that aims at, that let us meet other peer who works in SEO on an international level. So I was really happy to meet her. She's a SEO specialist with a strong knowledge in digital marketing and analytics. So she's a bit like me. She likes Google Sheets and stuff. And today we discussed about what we should talk about, and we were like, oh, content calendar, that is useful, because it's something that is often overlooked, because we're like, oh yes, I'm creating content for my blog, and then we get caught up in daily business sometimes, and we don't do it exactly where we planned. And sometimes also for SEO, it's really good to follow a strategy about the keywords and the topics to be really efficient and to be very relevant with the blog. So we thought that was a really good subject to share today. So really just anything that we don't say, just ask your question and we'll answer whatever you need during the meetup. Also, if you're really interested in SEO, you can join me and my friend Sarah in the meetup called SEO Nerd Switzerland. This meetup is a little bit more technical about SEO and not about writing. So join us and have a look. We have 2 meetup plans for November, October already, and November. About content strategy, we will probably have another meetup in November, and if all goes as planned, it's going to be about a tone and voice guide about someone I very, very much admire that created an open source tone and voice guide. So either November or next year, we'll see how his planning goes. And I am now done with the introduction. So without further speaking, now, Gemma, you can share your screen and we can happily start your presentation.
Okay, perfect. So let's go. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, all good.
Yes, perfect. So then I start. Today I'm going to talk about how to create a content calendar for your blog strategy, for your blog post. As Isabel said, I work in SEO, in agency, and I do content calendars almost every week. So I'm really used to doing it. And now I'm going to try to share you how do I do it and why it's important to do it, because actually it works a lot for your SEO strategy. Okay, so let's go. Okay, have your blog traffic fell flat after a while and you don't know how to improve it? Or are your blog posts too repetitive and you don't have new ideas or topics to write about? Does it happen to you that maybe you are writing posts but you are not following an order or a calendar, and maybe all the topics are the same and you don't get you can get new traffic for your website. And are you looking to achieve this with your blog? Do you want to increase the traffic that your website is getting? Do you want to increase the numbers of users that you are getting through your website through search engine machines such as Google? Or this, by better connecting with your audience interest? Do you want to have a lot of shares, a lot of comments, a lot of likes? Do you want to interact with your audience better? Then this is a solution, creating a content calendar for your blog post. Here we can just see a photography, but this is an Excel template that later I will share it to you, and it's really helpful to have a good SEO strategy for your website. Okay, so okay, let's start. Let's know first of all why it's important to do it. Why it's important that we prepare a content calendar strategy in our business, in our website. Well, first of all, having a content calendar that is more than just a template. We can also call a content calendar as a SEO content strategy. Help us to keep us accountable and in focus to achieve our goals that we set for our blog. Okay, even if they are for traffic, engagement, conversion, whatever. If we have everything set up, it's easy for us to always go in the right direction. Second of all, because having a content calendar helps us to set a better organization between all the teams. Yeah, I've seen that some of you work in digital marketing in general, so this will help you to have maybe a better organization between teams. Why? Well, because for example, if we have a content calendar for our blogs, it will be easier for our social media team to know when we are going to publish some news or some products or some services, or it will be also easier to settle an aligned strategy with business and sales department. Okay, so this is good for our team. First of all, because well, it will help us to have a better organization also for our content. And why this is really, really important? Well, first of all, because if we have a content calendar, we will have in one place all of our topics and blogs gathered together. And why is this important? Well, because then we will never repeat that content again. And why it's important to not repeat some content, some topics, or some products? Because one, our audience don't want to read the same thing twice. And second, because Google doesn't like that we repeat the same topics, or also known as keywords, yeah, the terms that we will use in each blog. That is also called as cannibalization. Yeah, if you are more in the SEO sector, you will know that. So that it's important that we never repeat exactly the same keyword in different blogs, because well, we will compete against ourselves, and we don't want that. So this is important also. This is important. Also, it's important because a content calendar will help us to classify our topics easily. And why is this important? Well, because then this will help us to focus every blog to our right audience and increase their loyalty. If we gather all the topics together for our audiences, our different kind of audiences, then we can create content more focused to them and have a better range of conversion. Okay. And then this one, I also like it a lot. It's important to have a content calendar to not miss good opportunities because we are late. Having a social media calendar, I mean, I think it's really common and a lot of people have it, yeah, because it's important to know when, I don't know, we need to start preparing the Black Friday campaign or Christmas campaign or some Valentine's campaign. But what happened with SEO? What happened with blogs? Can we, if in 1 month it's Black Friday, can we write a blog now? Is it going to appear on Google if we publish 1 week ago, one week before Black Friday? No, our blog, it's really difficult that will appear on Google if we just publish it that week. Yeah, because sometimes will need some time to show our blogs on the index. Yeah, that's why it's important to have a content calendar, because then we will know everything some months before, and we can start preparing well our strategies. And finally, because with a content calendar, we can work internal link building. This is really important from a SEO perspective, because we like a lot that we have all of our blogs, our content gathered together in a logical way. When we talk about a topic, that it's important that all the links, all the pages are linked together if it's relevant for the user. With a content calendar, it will be easier for us to know all the blogs that we did before and to link them when the writer is writing the blog. Okay? So, well, these are the 6 most important points for my perspective for why it's important to have a content calendar. Okay? As you see, a well-scheduled blog and a well-scheduled and aligned blog strategy will have us a lot within our SEO strategy. Yes? And we can see, for example, with some other websites examples. For example, here with SEMrush, I check other webs, how they are doing their blog strategy, and we can see how during these last 2 years, the organic traffic increased a lot. Yeah, thanks to their blog strategy. For example, here, Refblog, they doubled their traffic thanks to their blog. Or the same SEMrush, they double also, yeah, their traffic during the last 2 years a lot, thanks to the topics or the blogs that they are doing. So that's why it's important to have a good blog strategy, because it can help you to increase a lot the traffic and the users that you are getting from organic channels such as Google. Okay? Yeah, I go. If you have any questions, then later we can talk about all of them. Okay, so I explained you why it's important to have a content calendar and how this can help you to improve your SEO strategy. But let's go through that process. Let's learn how to create a content calendar for your blog. Okay, first of all, well, this one, if you work in the digital marketing sector, you already know it, but it's important to repeat it. The first thing that we need to know is to identify our audience, to know who our niche is, because then it will be easier for us to find new topics that they are interested in related to our products or services. Okay, what they need and what they are looking for. If we don't know our audience, then it will be really difficult that our content strategy actually works. After that, once we know our audience, once we did all of this, it's important that we start working. Now we did all the theory, now we know why it's important, who are we trying to arrive, but let's go through that process. What do we have to do? Well, now we will have to do a keyword research. But not a normal keyword research. In this case, we need to do a keyword research with the aim to find new topics to attract potential clients. What is a keyword research? I don't know if you are familiar with that concept, but we do keyword research. We look for keyword research is when you look for terms that you think that people that are interested with your product or service use online. For example, if you sell shoes, you look on search engines to see which kind of terms people are looking related to your product or service. Okay, but here I'm going to tell you how to do a keyword research with them to find new topics for your blogs. Okay. So first of all, the first thing that we need to do is always define our objectives and our competitors with the client. I say with the client because when I work in an agency and I also always have clients, but maybe if you work in an organization or in a company, you already know the objectives and your competitors. Okay? So well, first you need to know this. Once you know that, The first thing I recommend you to do is to think how people will look for your services or products. I don't know, you can do it with an Excel sheet, or you can do it with a paper, but you just need to write down how you think that people will look for your service or products. And not also your service exactly, but also something additional, something related, such as how to fix it, clean it, cook it, build it, whatever related to your product. Why? Well, because these terms will help you to think about different topics or blogs to write about. Yes, and they will help you to arrive to maybe new clients or I don't know, new audiences that you didn't know that maybe they could convert on your website. Okay. So when you've done that, when you think how people will look your services or products, then you just need to go to Google and check if that's true. You just need to go through Google and see, okay, I think that people, for example, imagine that you are a wedding planner, yeah? And you are, I don't know, so you just go in Google and you say wedding kingdom, and Google suggests you a lot of different terms, yeah, this is what I was calling keywords. Wedding in the woods, beach, dream, forest, garden, backyard. Well, here Google gives you a lot of ideas about terms that people are searching. With this, you can select the terms that you think that will fit on your blog, on your on your website, because these are the services or products that you are selling, that you are offering. For example, if you are preparing weddings in the, I don't know, in the mountains, well, the keyword wedding in the beach, we don't need it. We don't need to use this one, so we don't need to select this one. We just need to take the kind of terms that we think that will be a good match in our blog for our audience. Okay. Well, once we have this, we just need to check if these terms are being already searched a lot. I mean, just we need to make sure that people are looking for that term and how their trend is. Let me explain it better. For example, imagine that you are a tech company, yeah, and you want to write a new blog about trends for next year. Okay, so you think, okay, which are the most popular trends for next year? Blockchain, AI, or data science? Well, you go on Google Trends, for example. That is one of the marketing tools that you can use. There are a lot of other marketing tools that you can use. And you just put your keywords there. And for example, what can we see here? Well, if we went in 2017, we can see that blockchain was the keyword that most people were looking for. What happened? Well, we went in 2020, and I don't know if you can see it good, but the term that more people is looking for right now is data science. More people are interested more in data science instead of blockchain. So, for example, we can say, oh, maybe there are more or less the same volume of people looking for each term, but data science has an increasingly trend. So maybe if I have to choose a keyword for my blog or a topic to write about, it will be data science in this case. Yeah. So this is a good way to think about keywords or topics to validate it on different marketing tools. You can do it on Google Trends, or you can also do it here in, for example, this is the keyword planner from Google Ads. I just put here some keywords, some terms, and then they give me ideas. Well, they give me how many people are looking for that keyword every month, the average, and how the competence is, how many, if there are a lot of people or not a lot of people competing against this keyword. You can do this with Google Ads, with a keyword planner from Google Ads, or you can do this from a lot of other kind of marketing tools, such as SEMrush, for example. And with this, well, this will be really helpful for us, because this will give us ideas about which are the best topics to write about, and it will be well, good steps if we want to create our content calendar. Okay. How do you need to select the terms? Well, this depends a lot, depending on your objective, on the aims of your business, and also, I don't know, the size of your business. Yeah, there are some keywords. For example, here, imagine that you sell gifts. Yeah, you are gift store, yeah, that you sell a lot of kind of gifts. Imagine that, I don't know, you want to rank the keyword or talk about Christmas gifts for mom. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but the competence is really high. 986 out of 100 is the level of competence. This is a lot of people trying to compete with that query in an organic level, yeah, in Google. So maybe if you, I don't know, if you are a small store, you cannot compete against multinationals. So it will be better for you to use long tail keywords. What are they? Long tail keywords are search terms that maybe are longer. They are not as generic as Christmas gifts, but this will help you to be more specific and to focus more to your right audience. Maybe it's true that they have less searches. Maybe instead of 1 million people looking for that, you have 70 people, but these 70 people are going to find your website and maybe are going to convert more. So, well, this will help you to choose which one is better depending on this, your business always. Here you have more examples. And when you've done that, what you can also do is to check a little bit what your competence is doing and who your competence are. For example, if you are a CEO agency, you can come here and write on Google, best CEO agency in London, in New York. And here you have some example of people that are ranking with that query. This will give you an idea of your competitors, the size that they are, the blogs that they are doing, whatever. And also, well, you can use keyword research tools such as SEMrush to discover more about your competence. If you come here and you write your competence, the name of their website, these tools give you ideas about who your competitors are. And this will be easier for you because then you can see what they are doing and you can get inspired and you can see the keywords that they are ranked for. And all of this will help you to prepare your content calendar strategy. Yeah. And when you've done all of that, this is only the first step for your content calendar strategy. We will go to the template, such as this one. What is this? Well, once you've done your keyword research, when you select all the terms that you think that will be a good idea to talk on your blog, yeah, on your website, you just need to come to that Excel sheet, yeah? I will give you here the template. You will just need to click it and you can copy. And well, here I'm going to show you an example of how I did this one. For example, imagine this, we are a gift store and we sell gifts, a lot of kind of gifts for Christmas, for birthdays, for Valentine's Day, for Black Friday, whatever. First of all, the first thing that we need to do is to gather all of our topics together. For example, here I have topic 1, topic 2, topic 3, and I put all the keywords related to that topic together. Yeah. I have these keywords here from the Google Ads keyword tool that I showed you before. If you come here and you download it, you just need to download it. And then you have exactly this. And you just need to copy all the information here and then you will have the colors. Okay, it's really easy to use. You just download it and copy all the information here. And then with this sheet, you will find out in which period there are more people looking for each content, each term, each keyword. And this will be then helpful for you for deciding when it is more optimal to work each topic. Yeah, for example, let's go back on what we were talking before. Imagine that we are this, a gift store, and we are deciding when it's more important to work each content, each of these contents. For example, it will be a good idea to post a blog related to Black Friday on November. No. Why it's not a good idea? Well, because in November it's when most people are looking about term related for Black Friday gifts. Okay? If we post a blog on November, it's not really it's probably unlikely that our blog appears on the first page of Google. Why? Because Google needs sometimes to index a blog to get it ranked, whatever. So with these colors, this will help us to give us an idea when it's more optimal to publish it. For example, if we want to publish a blog related to Black Friday, maybe we can do it on May, for example. But here you will say, yeah, but Gemma, if I publish it on May, it's not a good idea because I don't want to tell people my discounts on May. And I will say, yeah, but on May, you don't need to tell all of your discounts. Maybe on May, you can post a blog related, just explaining that you're going to do a promotion on Black Friday and saying which day is it. So you publish it, Will knows that you're going to talk about this, and it starts to indexing your page. And then when it's October or November, you just upload information with your actual discounts. Then your page is already ranked, you are not late, you have all all your departments in the same way, so it's easier for you. Okay, so with this kind of template, this is not exactly the content calendar template, but these templates give you an idea for when it's more optimal to work each content. Yeah, and as we can see it here, so in Christmas will be in December, November, December, Valentine's Day, January, February. That's why maybe it's a good idea to publish it on August. Yeah. So, and once we have this, then we have everything that we need for our content calendar. Yeah. With all that information, we just need to fill the gaps. Fill the gaps with the templates that I show you at the beginning. And how are we going to fill the gaps? Well, let's go on with the example that we are doing. Imagine this, we have a Christmas gift store. So the first thing that we need to do is to, there's all of these camps that you need to fill in, and these are examples that I write it for you for now. But if you come here in the template, there is no examples. So first, the topic. Here I will write the topic that it's a good idea that we talk about. Why? Because here in that blog, the main keyword would be Christmas gifts for teens. So it will be a good idea if the topic is 30 Christmas gifts for teens. Why it's a good idea to do all of this? Because then the writer, the person that is going to write the blog, doesn't need to do all the process that we did until now. Yeah. So the writer just needs to focus on the information that I gave him or her here, and start writing, because he will have all the information to where he doesn't need to do more research, anything. Everything will be here for that person to write. So he won't waste time. He won't need to know a lot of SEO strategy concepts, because everything will be here for that person. Go on. So I will tell to that person the topic, the kind of post and audience. For example, imagine, I don't know, here because it's Christmas, right? Christmas gifts. And maybe we are, I don't know, at a mobile store. If we talk about the mobile, it's different if we are talking to people that are, I don't know, 60 years old, or people that are 18 years old. That's why it's important to tell to the writer who are our audience, because then the way that he writes, it's going to be better to connecting with our audience. Okay. So after that, I also gave to that person examples of similar posts. Similar meaning of the also, these are, for example, with that keywords, with this keyword, the webs that nowadays, or the day I did the research, were in better position were these ones. So now the writer will know, okay, who are like my competitors, who are the blogs that right now are in the first positions, and he or she will know that, okay, so these two websites are the ones that are in better position for these keywords, and well, they have blogs with more than 1,000 words or less than 1,500. So this will give to that person an idea of how it's better to write this blog. Yeah. If this blog was full of images, or if this blog had 10 videos, then we will give us an idea about how Google likes this kind of blogs. Okay. Well, I give this here. Then I also write who is the responsible, because maybe in a team we have more than one writer, so it's important that we know who is the person that is going to write it. The publication day. Why it's important to say the publication day? Well, because then, for example, the social media team will know which day the blog is going to be published, and then they can prepare the campaign or their social media calendar, because their social media calendar depends on our content calendar. So that's why it's important to write it here too. Because sometimes it's not only for us, it's for the whole team. Finally, I also write which is the main keyword that we're going to talk about. And this is also helpful for the writer and for the CEO team, because then we won't repeat this keyword never again, because we will have this written down. Yeah, so it's more difficult that we use the same keyword again in another blog in 2 months. Okay. And finally, well, I also write synonyms for that for the writer, because then he or she has more ideas about keywords that they can use. And finally, what I also do is, I mean, with this content calendar, you give to the writer a lot of information, and I think that's good. I also give to them internal link building. For example, if this blog is about Christmas gifts for teens, and in my website, I have a category page with Christmas gift and another category page for Christmas gifts for kids, I already give it to that person here, because then he will know, okay, oh, so in our blog we already have, I don't know, a category for teens or a category for kids. So from here I can know information, or maybe I can do internal link building with these pages. It will be a good idea. So I give it to them here. Okay, I hope you understand. But well, the aim of this is to put in one place like all the SEO strategy together for the writer to do it, to have all they need in one place. Okay, and well, here I also use different colors for each topic because then they know, okay, so today it's about Christmas. With yellow it's for Valentine's, and with green it's about birthdays. Because well, the writer I have in my team, he loves that I do it with colors, and I'm used to it, so it's a good idea to do it. And here, well, I give you more examples. For example, in case it's, I don't know if the keyword is Valentine's Day gift for her. So, well, you do exactly the same as with before, or maybe the next block is what should I give myself for birthday? Why? Because I found that a lot of people were looking on Google birthday gift ideas for myself. So I said, hey, let's talk about the blog for this kind of people that are looking for this kind of birthday presents. Okay, so these are, with all this process, with all the keyword research, with knowing what is more important to write each topic, I prepare my content calendar. Okay, but it's important to this step by step, well, these steps with my clients, so all the goals are aligned. It's important that when we prepare all this structure or all this content calendar, I'll do it with my client or with the business team or with everybody, because if not, then we have problems like, oh, but this is not already published. Oh no, but it was supposed to be in December, so it's important to do this. Okay, and finally, here I told you why it's important to have a content calendar and how to do it. But then what? Okay, so we do all of this and we manage to bring more people to our website. Then what? For ending my talk, I will give you like 4 tips that I recommend you to use when you're writing a post to generate more conversions on your website. Okay? First of all, my recommendation for your blogs when you are doing it, it's to have a correct blog post structure. Why? Because if we do all that effort and we bring all these people to our website and then they don't have a good experience, they leave. And it's like, oh, we don't want them to leave. We want them to read it, to enjoy it, and to start navigating inside our website. That's why I recommend you to do it, I don't know, like a newspaper, yeah, where you can find the headings, subheadings, paragraph, images in a good order, in a good structure. So for me, a blog should be the same. Obviously, always add it to every design and every business, but well, a good user experience, okay? Also, what you can do on your blogs is always answer your clients' needs and questions. And this is also well related to the keywords and keyword research. And this will also help us to appear in rank in better positions on Google and to have more clicks in our website. Yeah, that's all we want at the end. So if, I don't know, if we know that a lot of people related to our product have some kind of questions, well, with our blog, we can answer them. No? For example, which are the best Christmas that I can give to myself on my birthday. So then we just need to give to that person the answer and they will have a good experience in my web, okay? create quick titles and snippets, focus on your main topic. It's important that if we do all of this and then people go through, I don't know, to the search engines and they are looking for, and it's important that we attract them, that they can, I mean, maybe we are in the 5th position, but our title is funnier than the one that is in the 2nd position. So having a good title and good snippet related to our topics and keywords will help us also to increase this CTR, yeah, the range of clicks through our website. Okay, here there are some funny titles such as powerful marketing strategies that you should steal in 2020, or the 11 best marketing strategies we tried this year. These are funny titles. Of course, it depends always on every sector, eh? But well, this is some ideas, yeah. Here, in some slides, you will see that I leave you some other pages with more information. And finally, what is also important to do is to use different formats depending on your audience. Maybe I'm always talking about text in here, but sometimes maybe depending on your keyword or your topic or your sector, it's better if you do videos or if you use a lot of images, because this kind of explanation, it's better to do it by, I don't know, by a podcast or with a video or whatever. Okay, so it's important to go on Google and check these two. And last but not least, always in digital marketing, I recommend you to track your results to verify if your strategies are working. Yeah, for example, here, this is Google Search Console. I don't know if you are used to it, but this is, I mean, you can have this in every website in the world for free, and this gives you an insight of how your performance is going. So you will have like the top queries for your website, top pages with more clicks, more impressions, and whatever. And then this will give you an idea of which blogs are working better than other ones on Google. Okay? And well, that's all. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you learn new things. You will have this template for you in case you want to use it in the future. And well, thank you really much.
Oh, there I'm back. I was muted. Thank you, Gemma. That was awesome. So now we have a little bit of time for questions. You can ask whatever you want. You need to ask in the chat or in the Q&A to Gemma.
Yeah, I think I explained a lot of information. Maybe you have some questions.
Where do we find the templates? We will share the links and the slides and the recording, everything tomorrow. So, but maybe what you could do, Gemma, is go through again one of your templates.
Yeah, look, I have some here.
So here we go. So that's the one with the examples, yes?
So yeah, so for example, this is the one that you put all the keywords, yes, and here you have the content calendar template, okay? Here there are my examples, and as you can see, I do month 1, month 2, month 3, well, like January, February, March, and then week 1, week 2, week 3, because in my case, I do, for example, 1 blog per week, okay, with each client. So here, just the writer just needs to come here to open the Excel for each project for each client, and he will go, okay, so this week, what do I have to write? Okay, so this blog and this topic, and he just needs to go through the information. Then week 2, week 3. So every week you have the topic you need to write about.
Yeah. So that is very useful to be organized.
Yeah, and it's important. I mean, you start and you always say, yeah, I'm going to have time to write blogs and it's not important. But then you see that when you are in a big agency or some places like that, it's a good way to have all your information gathered together and not forget to do blogs.
Thanks. And we have questions. Oh, this is a question I have very, very often. So, Gemma, about the tools, what do you recommend and what do you suggest? Like, what are your favorite tools?
Okay, well, I mean, my favorite tools are the ones that I use, but I think that they are all amazing, depending a little bit on your objectives and, well, and what you are used to it. In my case, for example, I really like to use Google. I mean, from Google, I can extract a lot of information. I mean, as you can see, I find my competitors thanks to Google. Or I don't know, I mean, with Google, you can find a lot of things. But also tools such as SEMrush, for CEO, it's really good, this tool.
Yeah, so I think this question I get so often. So many people use SEMrush. SEMrush has some features to have, as you could see on Gemma's slides, some templates that to visually show you the data. And I think Ahrefs, I use personally Ahrefs. I'm a big Ahrefs fan, but I think we have a little less types of visualization. But the data is as good. So I would say between SEMrush and Ahrefs for the keyword research is really what you prefer using and what you used to.
Yeah.
And so from a more SEO perspective, for the backlinks, I use both Majestic and Ahrefs, just to compare things, to have two different sources of data. And if you want to dig into the more technical sides, then you need Screaming Frogs. And Screaming Frog is like not so expensive. So I think that would be my 3 go-to tools. But I mean,
like them.
but I mean, you can ask, everybody has different answers. So I think at some points, the best is just to, you can try them like Ahrefs for $7. You can try it for 2 weeks. So, and SEMrush probably has a trial period as well.
Yeah.
So I think probably the best is just to get to touch them and see how it goes, if you feel comfortable, or because they are all good and the data is pretty good. So
it's good to have more than one tool if you can have it, because then you can compare the data, because sometimes it's not exactly everywhere. So yeah.
And for the idea gathering, I do exactly the same. I do in incognito search with my keywords to see a bit what it's like as a user. To gather ideas, I use also the keyword planners, and also Answer the Public is really good to have ideas.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you have so many ideas, and like you just put one words, and then you have all of the questions people ask on the web. So for this phase of idea gathering is also pretty good.
Yeah. I don't use it a lot because, well, I'm from Barcelona and we write a lot in Catalan and in Spanish, and sometimes in some languages you don't have as many options as in English, for example. But yes, I would love to use it.
And let me see if we have any other questions. And also, how often, I mean, how long do you take to prepare all of the subjects, and how often do you do it? Because you mentioned that you work with writers to publish 1 blog post a month, but then when you do the content calendar, like how long and how often do you do it?
Okay, lately that when I have like a lot of project right now, luckily, I stay a lot of time. I mean, most of my time is preparing all of this and doing this keyword research. Usually I do it for the next 3 months, because then I don't need to do it every week. Although sometimes it's important to check every month, like, okay, what I did for this month, do we change the strategy with the client? Do I need to change some blog? And with not all the clients I can do it this way, because some sectors are more changing. But in the ones that are more specific, I have a lot of B2B clients, so sometimes it's easier for me to plan it like in a long term. So then when I do it, I spend maybe 1 day or 2, but I have it for a long time.
Oh, and I see here. And what do you do when you already have a blog post published? Because like you have your Christmas gifts blog posts or your Valentine's gift blog posts, and then what do you do in your content calendars for the next year?
For next year.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, for example, in this case, well, first I hope that people are interested in it and they share it and they on social media and in other websites. And then next year, if it depends a lot on every project and every client and every strategy. But sometimes I use the same blog and I upload it with new information for that year. Or in this case, because it's stationary, but other sectors, what I do is like, okay, if I am talking about this machine, maybe two years later or after 2 years, I upload information about this machine with new information or new images that I have, or with maybe more text, or yeah. I never do a blog and just leave it there. I'm always checking on that blog after some months to see how this is evolving. That's why it's important to have, for example, a web search console or other tools to check how your keywords and your pages are ranking.
Okay, so basically you check how the blog post is performing, and then you just improve the same blog post every year.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
you modify stuff, you edit, change pictures and stuff, but you keep the URL.
Yeah,
Right?
always, because it's important that if you change the name of a URL and you don't do a redirect, you have an error page, and this is really bad because then on your SEO it's almost lost. So it's important that when you change the content of your blog, you never change your URL, or in case you do it, if it's really important to do it or you need to do it for something, you do a redirect in this case.
So
Yeah.
optimizing the content and never delete a page. Like
Exactly.
if you have the same event every year, just have one page for the event and one URL without the date, and you just keep it and change the date on the page. So that's a really good tip.
That's important. Yeah.
So, and let me check, do we have any other questions? Oh, so we have many. Thank you, Gemma.
Oh, thank you.
That's so nice of you. So now we can do all a standing ovation because that was Gemma's first international talk. And
Thank you.
I think you did awesome because I can tell you that it's a big challenge to do a talk in another language and to do the slides in another language. That's lots of work. So I have a special thank you for you, Gemma. You did awesome.
Thank you very much.
And
Thanks.
I would recommend you to all the good conferences as a speaker at Brighton the next time you can go.
Okay. Great.
And today I have posted something special for you. I have posted, can you see that?
Oh, yes.
So I have posted a Swiss Army knife with a very special inscription. I am an SEO Swiss Army knife.
Oh, I love it.
Because we always say that in SEO, and basically it's also true for digital marketing, you have to know stuff about many different subjects. Like you have to know about Google Sheets, you have to know about a little bit about social media, you have to know about technical stuff, you have to know about so many different things that you like a Swiss Army knife. So many different consequences. So.
Oh, that's so true. Thank you. It's
So I guess it's on its way by now. I'm not sure when it's coming, but it was pretty much the easiest to send. I wanted to send like cheese and chocolates, but I thought it was not such a good idea.
No, I love it. I mean, it's great and it's really funny.
Okay, so if we have no other questions. Oh, we have many thank you coming.
Thanks.
And so thank you everybody for being here and for following us. Well, this meetup would be nothing without people listening to us and asking questions. So I'm really happy that you got something interesting out of out of the meeting. And if you have any late questions, don't hesitate to come back to Gemma or to come back to me. If I can't answer, I'll just transfer to Gemma. And well, now we are probably going to have a break and eat something for tonight, but I'll be sure to post the recording on YouTube and the slides and the template and everything. And I'll send you an email with all of that through the Meetup platform. So, and in case you don't find the email, check your spam box. It's probably there somewhere. Okay. So thanks everybody for being here.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the best. Stay safe, people.
Yeah, goodbye.
Goodbye.